Hello, I'm going to do Proposition 1 over again so that I can really teach an important lesson that permeates all of Euclid, and that's the following. Two things equal to the same thing are equal to each other. We see that with our intellect, and every time we're doing a proposition, in order to keep it to be an intellectual endeavor, the intellect always has to ask the question. If somebody says this is equal to this, the intellect has to say why? And then the person's going to say, oh, because this is equal to this, and this is equal to this. Two things equal to the same thing are equal to each other. For example, in Proposition 1, if you remember, it was on a straight line to construct an equilateral triangle. We've got to show equality, there you go, in all the lines. So let's do that. Let's start with our line. As we know, we can take a line and swing it around and we make a circle from it. We see that with our intellect. Let's do that. We just took this line, we swung it around, and we made this circle. We're going to do it again, but we're going to hold this side fixed and make another circle. It's going to be harder for me on this side, I think. That's okay. I've done worse circles in my life. Now look, we know that two lines intersect at a point. So here's a point. Let's connect these points. We have here and here. Okay? Now look in this circle. This is a radius. Line that goes from the circumference to the center. Radius. This is a radius of this circle. From the circumference of the same circle to the center of the same circle. We know, we see with our intellect immediately that the radii of the same circle are always equal. So this line is necessarily equal to this line because they're radii of this circle. And look over here, we've got our other circle that we made so proudly. And we say, here's the radius because here's the center, here's the circumference. Here's another radius of the same circle because here's the center and here's the circumference. Yes, it's a radius of the other circle too, but that's okay. You're brother of Johnny and also brother of Billy, that's okay. So now we see, look, because they're radii of the same circle, they must be equal to each other as well. This is equal to this. But this was also equal to this because it's radii of this circle. Well, two things equal to the same thing are equal to each other. That's the whole trick in Euclid. If you get that, and if you always ask that question, why are these equal? And you find a middle term, this is the middle term, this is the middle, that brings the extremes together. Here is equal to here. We didn't know that before. But when we say, hey, they have an equal friend, this guy, and these guys are brought together by this guy. Wonderful, no? Two things equal to the same thing are equal to each other. So all of these sides are equal. Therefore, it's equilateral, and it's clearly a triangle because it has three sides. Quod erat demonstrandum. We've constructed an equilateral triangle. Two things equal to the same thing are equal to each other. Never forget that, and always apply it in your propositions. Thank you. Bye.